Hey guys, what's up? Welcome to my first ever YouTube video on my YouTube channel. So today guys, I'm going to be reviewing my Spider-Man movie 1 from the Tobey Maguire films or the Sam Raimi movies, super poseable green Goblin. Now, with the obvious hype around Spider-Man No Way Home, we're obviously going to be getting a new Willem Dafoe Green Goblin. Now, it's not confirmed that Willem Dafoe's the Green Goblin in Spider-Man No Way Home, but it's kind of obvious. We can kind of just assume at this point that he is the Green Goblin. I'm sorry I haven't got him in the best pose. I really want to be careful with this figure because it does have some age to it, and honestly, I paid a pretty penny for this figure and I want to keep it in best condition as possible. So yeah, I'm sorry I don't have him in the best pose right now. I don't really pose my figures that much too often, but this is probably the most Goblin pose I was willing to get him into anyway, because this figure does have age to it, and I really don't want to damage it at all, for that matter. Hence why I'm going to straighten him out now. But so this is the Spider-Man movie 2002 Green Goblin figure. With the glider and everything. I bought this guy boxed for a pretty expensive price, but when you have a dream, you got to chase it, and this figure was a dream of mine for the longest time. It's crazy. I loved this thing when I was younger. I did have a version of it when I was younger, but it wasn't the super poseable version. It was like a Green Goblin where you could like fire pumpkin bombs out of and stuff. It was really cool, but it wasn't this one. And I do actually now have two of this guy. I have one, obviously, which is the one you're seeing right here, but I also do have one without a glider, just with the removable helmet and just the Goblin. He doesn't have this glider. So, speaking of the glider, let's go ahead and take a look at that first, because we'll just get the boring stuff out the way. Even though the glider is not what I would consider boring at all, this is a piece to truly admire. So, first glance looking at this thing, wow. 2002, this is incredible. We don't even get this kind of sculpt work for 2021 figures, nearly 2022. Damn, this figure's nearly 20 years old. This is vintage now, I'm pretty sure. May even be retro. I don't even know. Let me know in the comment section below. But the glider is just incredible. Like, look at the sculpted detail. You can just see on it. The paintwork is fantastic. Toybiz really never did disappoint. It just looks fantastic. It's truly a piece to admire. You've got these pumpkin bombs inside the glider, which you can roll about. I tend to keep them however they go, but, you know, if you can get them like that, awesome. For the articulation on the glider is pretty good. We can move it down and up, so you can have a more folded Goblin glider, like this, which is really cool. Looks really, really good. Give you guys a full detail view of that. This is how I had it when I reviewed, when I opened the review up, when, you know, this was how the glider was. But usually I pose the glider just front forward like that, because I don't want to warp the Goblin figure. The plastic is very, very old, and this figure does have age to it, and, you know, it's delicate. So, yeah. Obviously, on the back side of the glider, still being consistent with all of that detail work. The sculpt is incredible. Just look at the tips of the glider. You can see the individual blades, you know, the individual jet parts on the thrusters. It just looks fantastic. This is honestly Toybiz's best work. This Green Goblin figure, and the Spider-Man figure as well. The super poseable Spider-Man figure, which I do own, is also a fantastic piece. So now we've had a look at the glider, let's go ahead and take a look at the Green Goblin, or Willem Dafoe, or the Green Ranger, as a lot of people refer to him as. A lot of people didn't like this look for the Green Goblin. Now, personally, to me, this is Green Goblin, because when Spider-Man 1 came out, the Tobey Maguire film, I wasn't even born yet. I was born in 2003. I was born nearly a whole year later. Which to me blows me away how this figure is literally older than I am. And it's just really cool that I own it. I own 2 of him. Like I said, I do own 2 of him. And I think this figure is way capable of holding up today. The articulation on this guy does not disappoint at all. But let's go over the details. So, getting a closer look at Green Goblin, we can see all of the armor plating on the figure. Like, we can see literally each individual piece of armor. It just looks amazing. And looking at that fearsome Green Goblin head, it's just menacing, honestly. And if this helmet does not return in Spider-Man No Way Home, I'll be really disappointed, because this is the Green Goblin to me. This is what the Green Goblin looks like in my eyes. And I love the comic accurate version of Green Goblin too. The comic version of Green Goblin looks insane, but this one to me just is the Green Goblin, just because I grew up with Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man, and I guess Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man too, which I do quite like. I like Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man quite a bit. But Tobey Maguire is my Spider-Man. He is my favourite. But I really like Tom Holland too. I think he does an excellent job. I don't think they've had a bad Spider-Man. But I'd say Andrew's probably the weakest out of the 3. But that's just because of the writing. I think he is a fantastic actor. Okay, so we've gone over detail. Let's go over articulation. So the Green Goblin has a full 360 degrees on the neck joint. He does also have an individual head twist, but I'm not going to do that because it's kind of, number one, it's a useless piece of articulation because they don't need that with the fantastic movement in the neck. And number 2, I don't want to, again, I don't want to mess around with this figure too much. But the shoulder can come out this far at a nice 90-degree angle. He does have a shoulder swivel. He has a double jointed elbow. He also has a wrist rotation, which is really nice. And he also has a clamp in his hands, which is very cool. Same thing for the other arm, literally no difference there. He does have a upper torso swivel, which works really well in his favor. This figure really utilizes this really well. He also has got a waist swivel. His leg can kick up literally that far. He can kick back not at all. He does have an upper thigh rotation. He has a double jointed knee, which is pretty good. Really nice looking, actually. He also does have a calf rotation, sorry, however you pronounce it. His foot also does rotate up and down. He kind of has an ankle pivot, but not really. And obviously you got individual toe, well, not individual toe articulation, that'd be ridiculous, but he does have toe articulation. Toybiz coming in with that foot fetish, which Hasbro does not. But that Shang-Chi figure, those feet are pretty good at Hasbro. What are you trying to imply to us? But that's the Green Goblin. And for those of you wondering, can the mask come off? Yes, it can. I just want to be really careful. And I don't know how I feel about this head. You know, it doesn't look like Willem Dafoe that much, but I can tell who it is. I can tell who it's meant to be. You can tell that's Willem Dafoe. Like, come on. Except the hair is kind of ginger. And I think it'd just be much better if Toybiz gave it a coating of brown, or like a reddish brown, because that's what he had in the movie. That's what Willem Dafoe's hair was in the movie. And it's kind of too flat, his hair. But I guess that's kind of has to be how it is because of the way the mask has been shaped. And obviously you got the inside of the mask there for you. So you can, it kind of just pegs on the right way, you know. So there we go. That is my Spider-Man movie Super Poseable Green Goblin figure review. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please be sure to drop me one of those. It really help out a lot. If you want to see more reviews, I've got so many Spider-Man figures. Please let me know in the comment section down below. I have Super Poseable Spider-Man. I've got literally so many Spider-Man Raimi figures, TASM figures. Tom Holland figures, MCU figures, and even comic book Spider-Man figures. I got so many Marvel Legends. This is one of my biggest hobbies, and I'm just utilizing on doing a review, I guess. But yeah, this was my review on the, in my opinion, greatest figure ever released by Hasbro / Marvel or whatever, the Super Poseable Green Goblin. Hopefully we get a re-release of this guy, or maybe not an exact re-release, but hopefully we get another version of this guy when Spider-Man No Way Home drops. That's what I'm looking for. And if you guys really enjoyed this review, please make sure to leave me a like again, subscribe to the channel if you want more reviews, tell me what you want to see in the comment section below, and yeah, thanks guys for watching. It's been me, don't really know what to call myself, and I'll talk to you guys on the next one. Take care.